to Chris little channel. So today, like, you know, every month or the end of the month, beginning of the month, monthly wrap up of what I've read back in March. So we can just go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first book I read is Fall of Souls by R.A. Moreau. I gave this 4.75 stars and I finished this on March 5th. I really enjoy this. So how I discovered her, like this author, is that her next book, or one of like her books, is going to be featured in the Saddest Fiction book box for May. And I'm super excited. I think it's called Celestial Bodies, I want to say. And I was like, ooh, the cover looks so pretty. I want to see if I like her writing style and stuff like that. So I just tried. So I went to her page and was trying to see what book I'll be into. And I read, I think I talked about this once before. But I went through kind of like, she had, what's it called? Her previews of like books that she had, because they weren't like out yet. So I read her little previews and I was like, ooh, I like that. Like, I kind of feeling this. And I read the preview, or like is it the preview? Is that what it's called? Or like a sneak peek or whatever of this. And it's Nubian mythology, or like retelling or something like that. So it's reimagined storytelling of Nubian gods and goddesses in an adult fantasy romance with passion, secrets, and betrayal. And it's really good. I super enjoy this and I can't wait to read the second one. I don't know if the second one is out yet. I think book 2 is supposed to be spring this year, so I have to like look into that to see if it's out, and I'll try to cop it and read that. But I really enjoyed this. I can't remember really much of it, what it's about, without really spoiling it, but it's really good. It's also, okay, I know in my other videos how I was like, I do not like fated mates, insta love. That is not my cup of tea. Don't give me that. This one is a fated mates trope, but it's written in a way that I enjoyed, because they didn't officially get together till like maybe like 80% of like the way, 70-80% of the way through with the book. So there was a lot of like, because it's mostly I want to say it's mostly like plot heavy than like on like the romance and stuff. It's more plot than romance, but you still see some of them, like the couple are like attracted to each other physically, so like there's that. But it's just, I don't know, like I like how this Fated Mates was written. It wasn't insta-lovey, it wasn't just pure like spice and stuff like that, but it's really good. I enjoy it. If you want like a Nubian Egyptian like retelling like of their gods and goddesses, please pick this up. It's really good. It's I really enjoy this, and I am excited to eventually get my hands on the second one. I don't know when it's out, but hopefully I'll just check up on that to see. But Fall of Souls, R.A. Moreau, I recommend. And then after that, I read Frenemies with Benefits, can't see, by Cynthia Williams, and I gave this 4.5 stars, and I finished this May 7th. I also read a sneak peek of this on Kindle, and I will try to see if I liked it. I enjoyed what I read, and I physically picked it up because I don't think neither of these, this one or the previous one, weren't available on Kindle or even through Libby. So I was like, well, hopefully I'll like it enough to like, you know, keep it, and I do. So Frenemies with Benefits. Now, I'll say this, there's not really much of like an enemies type thing in here, so tread the whole frenemies thing really lightly, because if anything, it's one-sided because she thinks he doesn't like her for whatever like reason. But of course, through his perspective, that wasn't really ever the case. So take the whole frenemies thing very lightly. And it's about so these two are in like a small town called Peachtree Cove. And as we know about like small towns, is that everyone and their mama, grandma, neighbor, dog is in everybody's business. So we have Tracy. She recently got divorced because she found out, and I think it's on like the back of the book, and it's like the first couple pages, so it's not really spoiling it, but she's going through a divorce, very recent, because she found out that her ex-husband was cheating on her with her receptionist at her little bed and breakfast, and that receptionist became pregnant. So yeah, like exit stage left, like we're done. So that's like her thing. She's trying to like move out of that and trying to get out of get out of like her parents' like shadow, because she didn't want to be labeled as her parents and as like the failure. So she's trying to like get out of that stigmatism, get out of, you know, like create her own path and not be labeled as X, Y, and Z, right? And then we have Brian, who has also been divorced, and he is just trying to, he owns like a nursery in the small town, and I'm trying to see, he's also divorced, like I said, and he is that really it? He's not really like, neither of them are really searching for like love at the moment because of their breakups and relationships and stuff like that. But people around town are still gonna talk about X, Y, and Z, so they just figured, hey, right? So as we know, it's like fake dating, and what we know about fake dating is that eventually they end up not being fake. But it's really fun, it's really cute. I don't annotate, but this is like a little tab that I put here because of something that he said, and I was like, ooh, like I'm pretty sure it was so like minuscule, really like okay, like why did that hit you so hard? But this hit me hard. I don't want to like spoil it or like really say anything, but like it's, if you're curious and if you have the book and if you've read it, it's on page 111, and it's like really towards like the top, like after the two kind of ish paragraphs up there. But it's really good, really fun. I enjoyed it. Of course, we all like to see how they end up eventually being together. There are times where kind of was it Tracy and Brian was like upsetting me, but I feel like with characters you're gonna get upset with them at sometimes. But it was a fun read, so I really enjoyed this. And I don't have the physical book of this one with me. I think it's the only one I don't have physically, but I read this on Kindle Unlimited, and it's called Against the Rules by Bree Hayden. And gave this 4 stars, and I finished this May 13th. Now I'll say this, so much, like a lot happens in this book. It's kind of like a, what vibe is it? I don't want to really say fake dating because there's really nothing fake about it. If anything, they're trying to like hide their feelings for one another because it was kind of like forbidden or, you know, against the rules, right? Because she is the coach's daughter and or stepdaughter basically, and the coach, because it's a college sports romance, and the guy, he is what's his name, King. He is kind of like the main guy, the main quarterback of this team, and he really like values his coach's opinion. And then when his stepdaughter moves in with his coach, and of course like her mom, because her mom remarried to the coach. So it's kind of like a, if we want to say like forbidden type romance, or like just against the rules like the story says. I enjoyed it. I gave it, like I said, like a solid 4. I feel like there was a lot of instances where the main lady character was like getting on my nerves, but like I said, it's gonna be like that with like any like books. Also, I didn't realize that this was 604 or 5 pages long, because I was reading, so much was happening in like the first 30%, and I'm like, man, I'm not flying through this, because the chapters are really short. And I was like, wow, I'm really reading. I'm wondering like how long I have left, right? Like I feel like I'm really getting somewhere. And I looked at like the bottom like right corner, it said 30%, and I'm like, wait, how long is this book? And I didn't realize that it said it on like the bottom left until like later on. I'm like, 600 some pages, and I almost stopped reading. I contemplated, because I was like, do I want to keep going? Am I invested, right? Because it's not like I am opposed to reading like a longer romance, but I'm also kind of, because this is like my third, if I can say long romance, long meaning it's like over 350 plus pages, and I'm like, a lot was happening. Like there was so much happening in here where it didn't really feel like 600 pages. And also it helps that like the chapters are really short, but still I was like, why am I still on this book? Why is it taking me so long to read this? And I see why. So if you're not into like longer romances, then maybe Against All Odds won't be, or Against the Odds, Against the Rules. What do I keep? Against the Rules might not be the book for you, but I really enjoyed it. We love down bad men, and King is one of them. And I'm thinking like, if this happened in real life, so like to me, I would be creeped out. But because it's in a book form, it's like, okay, it shows, you know, he is completely committed to this woman, to this girl. And yeah, so either way, I enjoyed it. It was fun. A lot of characters to where sometimes I only really knew King and if I could get her name, Willow. Like I only knew of their names, but there's like 2 sets of couples, technically 3 other set of couples outside of Willow and a King. And every time they would like talk about them, like I don't know how they look, and they explain like their hair color, their eye color, whatever, but I don't know how they look. And there's like a lot of there's like a bit more dialogue than descriptive language or words in this book, which was okay. So this is why it was like easy like to get through, but it was just like, I enjoyed it, but it's a big cast, so I already know, at least like personally to me, it was like, okay, like I'm just reading, who is this again? Okay. So it wasn't until like maybe like 80% of the way through I finally got everyone down, but even then, big cast, a long romance, a lot of back and forth between Willow and King. I like their banter. Their banter was what made me like keep going on, because the things they would say to each other and the things King says, it's like, wow, okay. There's like 3 spicy scenes in here that I was like, oh, okay. But other than that, it was really good. I enjoyed it, so a solid 4. And next I read A Cruel Thirst by Angela Montoya. I gave this 4.75 stars, and I finished this March 19th on my sister's birthday, so happy belated birthday in case you see this. But this was really good. It's if I can say a fake dating type romanticy, but it's very, very light. Like I wouldn't even try to categorize this as fake dating because it's super light. It's the smallest, very small, I think, of like the plot. It's mostly like plot heavy. So we have Lalos. He got turned into a vampire and he doesn't want to be, but he's been doing a whole bunch of research, a whole bunch of like reading, trying to figure out how to reverse the curse, even though he knows that reversing it can also ultimately end his life. He just did not want to become a vampire, and he will go out of his way, even risk his life again to get rid of the curse. Like he does not want to be that. And then we have Carolina, and she is a vampire hunter. She comes from a family of vampire hunters, and they cross paths. Of course, she's attacking him because she's just like on site. I'm killing every vampire I see, like on site. I want to ask questions. I'm just going. I'm just shooting and baby, right? This was like super fun. Also, I'm trying to see. Diverse vampires, which is great because we have Immortal Dark with Black vampires, and then we have A Cruel Thirst with like Hispanic, Latin vampires. So that's super fun, which made me like want to pick it up. And I love the cover. It's like so gorgeous. So yes, and then what else do we have? I enjoy Laos as a character. He's super fun and he's not really trying to be. I really did enjoy Lena's and Laos's banter back and forth. I did get annoyed with Alina at points because I'm like, girl, can you just communicate instead of trying to use like your fist or sword or gun? Like, can you just communicate like a human being, really? So she was kind of like getting annoying. Not trying to have like a theme of like annoyed like women like characters, but there's just like some parts about her that I was just like, okay, come on, like let's go. What else? Of course, it's like a little love story, so like they fall in love. I didn't necessarily find their love to be believable in a sense of like I don't know if I could want to really spoil it, but I would just wish it would have been more of like slowed down. But of course I feel like it's in a time period where people like couples get married young and, you know, start continuing on like the bloodline and stuff like that. So like I get like the time period, but I just felt like the love wasn't at a place where with like how it ended for them, right? Like I don't want to spoil it, but if you, I probably did based off of like the words and choices I've used, the word choices I've used to explain, but I do love them together despite that. Like I said, their banter was super fun. I read this on Kindle, or no, I read this through Libby because I was able to check it out, and I know reading on my Kindle I just read a bit faster, so that's kind of like why most of the books I've read on here, you know, have physically. I read it on Kindle, and I will also like recommend this story. It's a standalone, so I don't think there's really going to be another one after this, especially with like the way it ended. I don't see a reason for there to be like a sequel since, you know, everything ended in a way where it ends. But I did enjoy this, and I also recommend this as like a read if you want to read about, you know, diverse vampires to like really exist. So yeah. Next, I read A Love Like the Sun by Rhys M. Nielsen. Yes, Nielsen. I gave this 5 stars and I finished this on March 21st. So I finished this rather quickly, probably like 2-3 days ish. I don't know when I started it, but I finished it the 21st. I have seen this book around like probably almost everywhere on like Bookstagram, like a little bit. I only follow like a handful of Bookstagram accounts, but I kept seeing this around and it was really good, nice like representation and stuff like that. And eventually I was able to read it. I read this through Libby as well, and I loved it so much. I'm like, I'm gonna buy the book because I feel like I wouldn't mind reading it again to see if there are things that like I missed. So this is Fake Dating because we have Naya Thompson. She owns like a curly haired shop with like her mother, and when they first opened they were doing great. They were making sales, doing deliveries, but over time that hype kind of like died down with like I guess other like curly haired shops and pop-ups and stuff happening. There hasn't been like, they haven't gotten much traffic, so they were on the verge of closing or temporary closing, or just like not having it in like their shop on like the corner store somewhere, but like just doing it back at home like how they started, because they weren't getting enough income. And then here comes in Isaac, who is Lenaya's best friend. They grew up together, but he is now like a big time influencer, model, social media type guy, and he has so many followers, so many like brand deals, and he, you know, is also like an artist. Like he likes to paint and stuff. So he's like trying to like not just be known for his social media presence, but also be known for like his artistry. And so I think, does he also photograph? Either way, he's super artsy. I feel like he does it all. But when Isaac finds out about the shop, his best friend Lenaya owns like on like the verge of closing, he comes up with an idea with how about we fake date, because then the people he's attached to and like his followers would come and support his, you know, girlfriend, and of course other brands would see that and stuff like that and want to like just basically he has the pull to get the traffic they need to keep the store open. And as we know, the theme with like fake dating, it's a whole bunch of will they, won't they type stuff. This was a lovely, heavy, emotional read, because I think she has like it's like a rep for like I forget what like the rep, I'm trying to she has like some condition with like her body, and of course just a whole bunch of like other things. And yeah, it's told in first person, so just only from like Lenaya's like point of view, but like I just love how even through that we still get Isaac's personality as well, and there's little like memories in between here to show like what happened like when they were kids and as they were growing up, so like we get more of like an understanding of how they grew up together and their relationship and how that like blossomed. But yeah, this was so good. It was so good. Like I finished this and I'm like, wow, like I literally just like took in a breath, or just like, you know what I mean? Like it was really good, and I recommend it to like my flock, because I'm like, you have to read this. It's really good, and I'm glad I finally read it after all the recommendations. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So if you don't take anything, I guess with like anything like romance wise, please do A Love Like the Sun, because it was great. It was great, and now I want to see what other books she has, because I did enjoy her writing style. But this was really good. Really good. The last book I read is Light Lark by Alex Asher, and I gave this 5 stars, and I finished this March 27th. Now if I finish another book, I'll be sure to add it maybe like at the end with like my little stats and stuff like that. You'll see. If not, it'll pop up on screen maybe as I'm talking. But I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. I love the world building. I also read this through Libby, but I bought this along when I bought A Cruel Thirst, if you remember me talking about going to the New Romantics bookstore. I bought these 2 books there. And I guess like a little side note, on the ebook version, I guess that I got from Libby, it featured a prologue as well as a little quick cheat sheet of the different realms and the different rulers and their curses and their abilities, which I'll briefly talk about what this book is about in a sec. But in here it goes straight into chapter 1, and even like at the end it's just acknowledgements. So I didn't get all of like, I guess, the little extraness. So I guess I got like the first edition of this, and I went on Amazon to see if I could just find another version that has like the prologue and has the quick info sheet on like the different characters and stuff, because that's what I want. Because I know like eventually, you know, I'll hold on to this, but I would want the version I read like through Libby. And I found it. If I could put like a picture here, it's like the special edition one, and it comes with like illustration and stuff like that. It looks really pretty, and I like the dust jacket and stuff. But as long as it has the prologue and little quick cheat sheet, that's all I care about. That's really all I care about, because that's what I read, and it was nice to have that little quick cheat sheet so you could understand like the different realms with like the rulers and what their curses are and what their like abilities are because of that. And I'll just read this part because it's like super short and I don't know really how else to talk about it. But it says, welcome to the Sentinel. Every 100 years, the island of Light Lark appears for only 100 days to host a deadly game where the rulers of 6 realms fight to break their curses and win unparalleled power. Each ruler has something to hide. Each curse is uniquely wicked. To break them and save themselves in their realms, one ruler will die. To survive, Issa Crown must lie, cheat, betray, even as love complicates everything. This was really good. I had so much fun with it. Like I said, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And for like an example of like what their curses and abilities and stuff like that are, because we have like sunlings, wildlings, moonlings, starlings, you know, etc., etc. I'm not naming all of them, but at the top of my head, it's kind of like that. And there's like 6 different realms. And for example, sunling, of course their abilities is like fire and heat and like whatever else, but their curse is that they can't be under the sun, right? It will like literally obliterate them. Like that's like their curse, and it's brutal. It's, what do you mean they can't? And then with moonlings, it's kind of like the same thing but like opposite. Like they have the power of like water and like frost and snow and all the other stuff and ice, but they can't exist under the moon. Like they'll also obliterate and stuff like that and be taken by the ocean and whatever else. So their curses are like super brutal. And I think a wildling, which is what Issa Crown is, the main character, I forget what her abilities are, but she can just never fall in love. because the way I understood it is because she'll end up killing the person she loves. So it's kind of like you just can't fall in love because you're gonna end up killing them. So all of the curses are super cruel, like this says, and we follow Issa, and it's told like in third person, but we still just follow Issa. And I wasn't sure how I was going to like this because it's like a trial tournament type thing, not like Hunger Games, but more so just like there's like the trial aspect of it, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, but it was still enjoyable. And like the only person I could really trust in here was our main character, because I'm like, I don't know if I trust him, I don't know if I trust her, I don't know if I trust her, I don't even like her. So it was like it was like really fun, and there's like a lot of twists, like jaw-dropping twists that I didn't even think, because I was like, no, like, what do you mean? But this was like super fun, so much fun. Yeah, this was really good. I also recommend, and I can't wait to get into the series because I think it's a trilogy, so I'm excited to read the other two in the series. And I heard, because only one person that I follow reads the series, and she will always rave about it, which is why I eventually or finally picked it up. And she said that the second book was more focused on the romance than the plot. Though in here it was more plot with the subplot of romance, like a little bit of romance in the background, but the main thing was the plot. So that was kind of like different for her, but overall she still enjoyed the series. So I'm excited to see, you know, if I agree with like her way of thinking, if it seemed more romance heavy than anything. But yes, Lightlark, Alex Astor, solid 5 stars. It was really good. That is it. That is all the books I read for this month. It was a lot. I had a really good reading month for March, and I know I said it was going to be March was going to be my fantasy heavy stories, which I feel like it kind of was, and of course you don't see the other book because I didn't buy that one, but a pattern of romance and fantasy, and overall really good, really fun. Enjoy my reading month. Please let me know if you read any of the books I mentioned, or what did you read for March. Any of your faves, your 5 stars, your DNFs, let me know all of that in the comments down below. And while you're there, please like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more cozy content like this, whether it's gaming or just other random book chats. And I think that's it. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for spending time with me, taking time out of your day to sit and just chat about books with me. I know you see the bunnies, the bunny garland. Please don't think that I'm only have this up here because of the spring season Easter holiday. This will be up forever, so you'll be seeing this. It's part of my decor now, so yeah, don't be mistaken, that stays up. And hopefully I will see you in the next video.